Hello everyone, my name is Jack and this is Homebrew Heroes, where I share with you all some homebrew content for the game Dungeons & Dragons. Today I'll be going over the Black Mage class from the Final Fantasy XIV companion book for 5th edition D&D. Created by Reddit user SilentSoren, this is a massive project that has been worked on by redditors and players for over 3 years, resulting in a guidebook filled with races, classes, and spells based on the popular online fantasy game and remade to fit into any campaign setting. If you're interested in this class, or in my other videos going over this compendium, such as the Dark Knight, the Gunbringer, and the Astrologing classes, the links to those can be found in the description below. With that said, let's begin. If I describe each of the 4 mages in one sentence, it would go something like this. Red mages are charismatic sword masters that sling spells around. White mages are masters of conjuring and healing. Blue mages connect with beasts and use their power to cast spells. And black mages drain the power of the void to cast and that's it really. Black mages are masters of black magic, a pure destructive force of arcane energy. They tap into the energy of the void, which is another plane of existence that holds the secrets of black magic, and only the black mages are mad enough to control this power. For the class features, you'll get a d6 for hit dice, which is the same hit dice as wizards, sorcerers, and astrologians. You'll get proficiencies in some weapons like daggers, quarterstaffs, and maces. You won't get any tool proficiencies. The saving throws you're proficient in is in wisdom and charisma, and you'll get to obtain 2 skills from a list of 7 skills. The black mages get their spellcasting at level 1, and it is very similar to the spellcasting of wizards. Your spellcasting modifier is intelligence. You can cast some cantrips, and you can cast certain spells as rituals. You can cast a number of spells based on your black mage level, and you can learn and switch out your spells whenever you complete a long rest. The spell list for the black mage is in chapter 10 of this guide, with your choices being 12 cantrips, 19 first level spells, 19 second level spells, 16 third level spells, 10 fourth level spells, 17 fifth level spells, 13 sixth level spells, 11 seventh level spells, 6 8th level spells, and 4 9th level spells, for a grand total of 127 spells. Also at level 1 you'll gain ENOCHIAN. I hope I'm pronouncing this correctly. These are stacks of AETHER that remain with you after casting a spell. These are your resource points, similar to the red mage's flare points and the white mage's confessions, but these operate a little bit differently. You'll gain 1 ENOCHIAN stack whenever you spend a spell slot, and you can hold a number of stacks depending on your level. Unlike the other mage's resources, these will only last for 1 minute, as opposed to remaining with you until you rest. However, the time for these stacks to expire reset whenever you cast a spell. So if you want to hold on to these stacks, you gotta keep casting spells. For each stack you have, your spell damage rolls deal an additional point of damage. So if you have 3 ENOCHIAN stacks on you, your spells deal an additional 3 points of damage. At level 2, you'll choose a magical discipline to study in, aka your subclass. Your choices are the Annihilator, the Inflictor, and the Void Soul. Those are such lovely names. You'll gain their features at levels 2, 6, 10, and 14. The ability score improvement levels for the Black Mage is 4, 8, 12, 16, and 19, which can be used to increase your ability scores. Then at level 18, you'll gain Surecaster. You can spend 4 ENOCHIAN stacks to automatically pass concentration checks for the next 10 minutes. Perfect for casting spells like Incendiary Cloud and Gate. Also, you'll get Resonating Ether at level 20. Similar to the other capstone features of this guide, you'll gain 3 ENOCHIAN stacks whenever you roll for initiative. This will let you deal some extra damage at the start of the battle. The first subclass for the Black Mage is the Annihilator. Annihilators specialize in maximizing the most amount of damage and pain to deliver possible in their spells. They search for the best ways to destroy everything, or should I say, annihilate everything? Each magical discipline provides an expanded spell list for their black mages. Annihilators will gain the spells Witchbolt, Agonizer's Scorcher, Fireball, Ice Storm, and Cone of Cold. The first feature is Raging Aether. When you cast a damaging spell or cast a spell that requires a saving throw, you gain a bonus to your ranged spell attack rolls and to your spell DC. The bonus equals to your current ENOCHIAN stacks, so if you had 3 stacks on you, you would get to add +3 to your ranged spell attack rolls and to your spell save DC, making it difficult for your foes to dodge your blasts and succumb to their effects. At level 6, you'll gain Glyph Sense. You've learned how to easily locate glyphs and magical traps, letting you gain advantage on perception and arcana checks when searching for them. This knowledge will help you out nicely at level 10 with the feature ... Leylines! As a bonus action, you can create a 5-foot magical glyph on the ground. If you stand inside the glyph, you can expend an ENOCHIAN stack to cast a spell as a bonus action instead of as an action. The only catch is that you can't gain an ENOCHIAN stack if you cast a spell inside the glyph. The glyph remains on the ground for a number of rounds equal to your intelligence modifier, and you can only create 1 glyph per rest. You'll be stuck in one place to cast spells this way, so be wary of where you place the glyph. The last feature is Devastating Force. Whenever you cast a damaging spell and roll a few 1s for the damage roll, you can spend 2 ENOCHIAN stacks to throw those 1s out the window and roll some new dice. The Annihilator gives you some ways of utilizing your spells to deal a lot of carnage, with the glyphs freeing your action to cast cantrips alongside your spells, and Raging Aether and Devastating Force giving you a lot of damage to deliver. You'll be able to wipe away the competition. Unlike the Annihilators, Inflictors use black magic for the greatest kind of damage, emotional damage. These Black Mages are experts at causing negative effects on a big scale, from charms to enchantments, to break apart creatures from the inside. Inflictors will gain some spells to help cause trauma. They will gain some spells like Charm Person, Suggestion, Slow, Charm Monster, and GLYPH. The first feature is Deep Suggestion. Whenever you cast an enchantment spell, you can spend 1 ENOCHIAN stack to give your target disadvantage on their saving throws. Even though you won't get that many enchantment spells, seriously, most of the Black Mage spells are meant to blow shit up, this will help you out when you cast spells like Sleep, Suggestion, or GLYPH. Then you'll get Mind Jack at level 6. You'll gain proficiency in Insight, and you can use Insight to identify an enchantment or a charm that is affecting a creature. You can always use spells to remove them, but for you got another option. By spending 1 ENOCHIAN stack and a spell slot equal to the slot used for the enchantment, you can take control of the enchantment itself. You'll have to know the spell in order to steal it, but you can use this, for example, to take command of a monster that's under the Charm Monster spell. The next feature is Unshaken Will. Your will to destroy everything will help you on Wisdom saving throws. By spending 1 ENOCHIAN stack, you'll not only gain advantage on the next Wisdom saving throw, but you can add your proficiency bonus to the saving throw. The final feature is Mental Anguish. This will empower your enchantment spells with Necrotic Flare. When you cast an enchantment spell, your target must make a Constitution saving throw. If they fail, their body will begin to decay, suffering necrotic damage for a number of rounds equal to your intelligence modifier. You won't have to spend any ENOCHIAN stacks to do this, it's automatic. It sounds great, it really does, believe me. But since some enchantment spells will end once they receive damage, this might end the spell before it even begins. If you use this, talk to your DM about the effects of Mental Anguish, and if it has lasted longer than 5 hours. The Inflictor grants massive buffs on enchantment spells and charms. The only thing is that with the Inflictor subclass, you'll only have 9 spells that can benefit from these buffs. If those are your favorite spells to use, then the Inflictor subclass will work out for you. If not, I don't know. Maybe not. Those that dive deep into the secrets of the Void are the Void Souls. From their years of study, they've been able to directly tap into the Void's corrupted powers, and use them in creative and sinister ways. Void Souls gain some necrotic spells to unleash, including spells like Arms of Hadar, Shadow Blade, Hunger of Hadar, Summon Greater Demon, and Negative Energy Flood. The first feature is Soul Siphon at level 2. As an action, you can use one ENOCHIAN stack to change a spell's damage type to necrotic damage. You can now do necrotic versions of spells like Fireball, Scorching Ray, Ice Knife, and Sleet Storm. On top of that, if you deal damage with this modified spell, you'll recover hit points equal to 1d6 plus your charisma modifier. This die will increase at certain levels, giving you a creatively wicked spell option. Also, you can generate ENOCHIAN stacks with this, so realistically you can spam this feature at every battle. At level 6 you'll gain a devil on your shoulder. As an action, you could connect to a creature telepathically and force them to say your words through them. It's similar to the suggestion spell. The catch is that you and the creature will both have to make charisma rolls each time you want the creature to say something, and if one of you fails, either by you failing the check or the creature succeeding on the saving throw, the connection is broken. However, this feature doesn't require any ENOCHIAN stacks, so if you fail, you can just keep trying to be that devil on their shoulder. The next feature is Ebony Offense. As a bonus action, you can spend 2 ENOCHIAN stacks to have your spells ignore necrotic damage immunity until your next turn. You can now throw necrotic spells and soul siphon spells at all of those lovely liches. Then at level 14, you'll get Dreadful Might. When you deal damage to a creature with your spells, you can spend 2 ENOCHIAN stacks to have them scared of you. They'll gain the frightened condition for a number of rounds equal to your charisma modifier. However, if they pass the saving throw, they'll be immune to any fear charms for 1 hour, so you or your friends can't try to scare them again. The Void Soul is a mix of the previous subclasses. The biggest and best feature here is clearly Soul Siphon, with the others giving you some ways of scaring your foes and making them say things that will start wars. Like saying that pineapple shouldn't be on pizza, or Eldritch Blast is a terrible cantrip, or that 4th edition is the best edition. And with that, that was the Black Mage class of Final Fantasy XIV. Let me know in the comments of your thoughts of this class. Is it balanced? What changes would you recommend? Anything like that. Also, let me know of other homebrew you'd like me to go over in the comments below as well. The link to this compendium and to my other D&D Final Fantasy videos can be found in the description below. Thanks for watching everyone. Be sure to like and subscribe for more homebrew content and other things.